Hey guys, it's Chris. Well, this is going to be an update video, and Muggy tagged me. So let's go over, here's my awesome Muggy stand. Pretty sweet. Got the Muggy juice. These are the coolest things I've ever seen, man. I've never even seen these before. Well, what a great idea. Got a couple of those. Got a phone stand. That's from Muggy's contest. So let me just go over the vehicles. Here's my TLR 4.0. Let's see here. Alright. It's got Savox 1250 servos. It's got the upgraded Servo throttle horn. D mud flaps. It's got all the TR metal braces. Got an outer wears on there. It's a .21 Rex Legend 7-port. And I got my focus runs. Anyway, guys. Sorry for the camera work. Alright. It's got a 41029 pipe. 2096, or sorry, 41029 header, and then a 2096 super strong. Also, let's see if I can do this here. It has D chassis skid plates. Also, I know Muggy's mentioned this before. It's got the carbon fiber control arm stiffeners. It's basically like the, sorry guys. It's basically like the Mugans, how they do. Take the body off. This stuff's never easy with one hand. Like that. There. It's basically, I don't know if you can see in there, how they do it here. You can take them out. Basically, I don't know if you can see. Rear. It's basically the same principle. I don't remember who makes these. I think, yeah, I don't know. Let's get back to you guys on that one. I know I've seen them before. It's got the upgrade to our
What's up, Nitro Nation? Credit due where credit's due. Shout out to my boy, 1/5. Again, a guy that, you know, he doesn't do a lot of videos up and before I met him. Now, I'm not saying that I have a lot to do with him, but, you know, I mean, that's why I do these contests, mainly, is to get people out of their comfort zone, to get people to share what they got going on. I mean, that's what this is about, right? I mean, the reason I started my channel is not just to share, even though that was the first thought, but it was also to help educate and help pass along what I've learned. I've heard people tell me and criticize me all the time, Muggy, you know, all you do is repeat what somebody else said. That's kind of funny, because if I'm just repeating what somebody else says, why is it that I see all over the tube perfect examples of people that obviously didn't get it the first time Mr. Zah said it, or didn't get it the first time Adam Drake said it, or didn't get it the first time Ryan Letts said it, Mike Croddick, you know, Elite RC, Raja 111, and so forth. Okay? And like I've said in the past before, because sometimes people, just because people hear something, sometimes it goes, unfortunately, goes in one ear and goes out the other. It doesn't sink in, because maybe it came across a different way, or, you know, there's plenty of things that I've heard many times from different people, but it took that one person where I was like, oh, snaps. I get it now. You know, so that's one of the reasons why I figured, you know, I'm not reinventing anything, because it's already been invented. Gotta have my cup of coffee. By the way, people, it's West Coast time, almost 6 o'clock. I'm up pretty early. I kind of went to bed a little bit early. But, man, I get off work I go in at 12 in the afternoon. Sometimes I get off home at 12. 12 to 12, man. 6 days a week. I don't have a lot of time. The little bit of time that I have is, depending on what time I wake up, is in the morning before work. That's it. There's not going to be any running footage probably, I want to say, till Sunday. If it comes anytime soon, it would be a bonus. This baby, the MBX 5 Pro Spec, she is filthy and nasty. I've got everything cleaned. I am working on the diffs right now, and my center diff actually, and I want to get into that. We're going to get into, I'm going to give you guys a rare muggy treat, because I don't do a lot of wrenching. As you guys look at my videos, I don't do a lot of actual hands-on wrenching because my shit is too meticulous. It's too, like, you guys would fall asleep. I'm not going to spend too much time in it, but I do want to cover something that's very important as far as when you're going next level diffs. I'm not talking race diffs, you know, what I call baby fluid, 10, 20, even 30 max. I'm talking when you're getting into next level diff building, we're talking 50, 60, 80, 100, and for me, for the first time, 125K in the center of the buggy, which will be the first time I put anything more than 100K in any of my vehicles. And how fitting. This thing has always been the guinea pig. First modded motors usually breaking in are through her. That's why I love this thing. But anyway, to get back to what we're talking about, you know, people would say, you're just repeating what other people said. Well, obviously you didn't get it, or you wouldn't be, you know, or whoever it might apply to wouldn't be doing the things that you do, you know. And maybe they did get it, but a lot of people don't, you know, and it's that, I think, to me, is important to just pass on the knowledge, pass on what you've learned, okay, and maybe in a different angle. Maybe, you know, I learned something from Mr. Zah, or I learned something from Adam Drake, but, you know, I'm applying it, or you know, I got a different view on that, to where somebody, even if it's just one person, might understand a little bit better. So like I said, I'm not reinventing anything, you know. They always say some of the best ideas are stolen from somebody else. It's a true statement. So anyway, shout out to 1/5, man. This guy won the contest fair and square. If you look at, go watch his video, 1/5 RC. This guy not only has two pretty sick next level buggy and truggy combos, okay, he's got some sick ass fifth scales. So he's another guy that will be helping me out without a doubt on my fifth scale build, because obviously he's got more knowledge whenever that time comes. You know, and that's the cool thing about this awesome hobby of fifth scale RC, or RC in general. If you're smart, network. I hear people give shout outs and give credit, you know, and that's what this video is mostly about, to show you a little bit of my wrenching, but also just to give shout outs. I mean, not to give shout outs, but to give credit due where credit's due. I give a lot of criticism. Some people probably think that I give more criticism than I give more credit. I give both, because I think people deserve both. Rightfully so. I deserve just as much. Remember, when you're pointing one finger at somebody else, see that? There's three fingers pointing right back at you. So I got to remember that when I'm criticizing or you know, calling somebody out, you know, hey, I got to make sure my shit's clean too, right? And am I guilty of a lot of things that I might point out? Sure. That's why I can point them out better than anybody, because I've done it. Been there, done that. Okay? So anyway, the contest, like I said, I do these to get people out of their, you know, comfort zone, to get people out of their you know, whatever, out of their shy zone. I mean, it's no secret, and he knows it whether he admit it or not. Mr. You-know-who, he, you know, he didn't even want to do videos. He didn't do videos or start his channel until I pushed him and I encouraged him, and you know, and that's what I like to do. You know, I'm not taking the credit for it, but you know, it is what it is. You know, I would like to think that I have a part in helping these if not newer guys, just guys that have a lot to offer, or have experiences that they need, they want to share, that might benefit somebody. Now, some of them, granted, you know, I don't agree with a lot of the guys that want to do the trial and error thing on video. You know, hey, come with me on my whatever, you know, journey or adventure, you know, as I, excuse my language, fuck things up. Let's fuck it up together. I didn't start my channel doing that. I only started my channel after I learned from the top dogs at the time, and some of them still are, you know, and just showed people, here, this is what I learned, and this is what works for me, you know, and so forth. And that's what I continue to do. And I always tell you that disclaimer. This is what works for me. This is how I do it. If you want to get the same results as I get, the way I do it, then do it the way I do it. But, as you know, us as human beings, our nature is to just do it our own way. When somebody tells you not to touch something, what do? You touch it. When somebody tells you, you know, hey, that's hot, you're going to get burnt, what happens? You get burnt. That's just our stupidity sometimes, and that's how we are as human beings, unfortunately. Sometimes it costs us dearly. You know, I've told people in the past, hey, don't run lean. You got to, you know, make sure you run rich. And it takes them to blow up a motor to finally realize, you know what? I guess you're right. Maybe I should run. And like I said, you learn, and sometimes you have to learn the hard way. Or I'll tell people, hey, I don't use switches. I will never use a switch. Ever, to this day. Because why? Because I had too many problems with switch. Because I know, because I had this thing run away twice. This thing get away once. Those of you that know or don't know. Okay. That Mugen got away once. Once. Twice. I think twice. Yeah, twice. Once. That thing, knock on wood, that thing there has never got away yet. That's my only vehicle that hasn't got away. And it's had some of the most bullshit servos run through it. So, do I know a little bit about trial and error? Oh, hell yeah. Here. I don't even know how I keep them. There you go. Do I know about servos taking a shit? Here you go. There's a whole box of them. Servos, switches, those bullshit 4AA battery packs. Yep, I learned the hard way. More than once, unfortunately. So, yes, I do know about that. But I had to learn. And at what cost do you want it to happen for you, I should say, or at what expense are you willing to spend? Because somebody said, you know what? From my experience, don't use these. My experience, don't run this way. But, hey, we as men, as stubborn-ass men, hard-headed as we are, most of us, and I can attest to that, it's gotta happen to us firsthand. And still, even though that happened, obviously it happened numerous times. I didn't learn the first time. First one was with the Mugen, buggy. That's why I know Mugens are tough as hell. Because these things have got away, and they should have been, like, busted up in pieces. But they held up. Same thing with that tank. The Mugen, I don't know. I mean, the XTM, the Muggy, if that thing got away, oh, man, I don't know. I'm not knowing for sure, but I'm, you know, because it's an RTR, I mean, originally, even though it's got all the upgrades I did to it, I don't know if it got away, and depending on what it hit and how fast it was going, I don't know what would survive. I guarantee it wouldn't hold up like a Techno or a Mugen Chuggy or a Buggy, for sure. But that's the only one. And I still continue to run switches. Let me try another switch. Let me try another battery pack besides a life battery, or an actual rechargeable battery pack, real pack, instead of the AA's. Let me tape the AA's together. That way they don't come loose and that shit happen. Or let me run a different type of switch. Same results, man. I'm telling you. Switches. And you do what you want. Like I said, do whatever you want. I mean, trust me. If I had a runaway because a switch went out, okay, and that shit, like, almost got busted up, definitely, without a doubt, I would, fuck that. Would never, ever, 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 ever run a switch again. I don't give a shit. That's just me. If you want to try a different switch or go for it, man. I'm telling you, man. Switches are no bueno. I'm not chancing it anymore. Okay? The first time it got away, I got lucky. Second time, it came even closer to blowing up a motor. Because you can blow motors that way. And if I would, thank God I haven't blown up any motors with my runaways. Or, oh my God. I just, again, my heart goes out to Mr. Audrey Perez, man, because I don't know. I would cry. Literally. You would see a grown-ass man cry if my motor blew up. I'm not saying that Audrey cried, but I don't know. I'm sure his heart was pretty hurt. Like he said, he told me in Spanish, because he is Hispanic. He said, mi corazón, hurt. Basically, corazón is heart in Spanish. But anyway, I don't run switches. And it's okay to run your battery straight into your receiver. But if you're running LiPo batteries, then I don't know. I can't tell you that. But because I run life batteries, I have never, ever, ever, ever. That's what I'm talking about. With LiPos, man, there's so many different things. It's not just the battery swelling up. And as you guys know and heard, catching on. That's among other things. I've seen servos continue to burn out because they're not hooked up right or whatever because of LiPos. Okay? I gotta undo. It's kind of a pain in the butt sometimes, but, people say, oh, it's a pain in the ass because you got to take off your cover. These 3 set screws, take off your cover. This is where the receiver is, and then plug it in, and then put it back on, and then, and then when you go to turn it off, you can't just hit the switch. I mean, well, yeah, it is kind of inconvenience to do that, but it is also inconvenience when your shit runs away and when your shit gets busted up. I think that's more of an inconvenience, than having to do that. I don't give a shit. I undo this. Inside of here is my receiver. This is the Mugen MBX7 RT, by the way, people. With the Pico Badass modded .28 that's getting ready to rip in this thing. This is the next vehicle on deck, by the way. We'll get into that in a minute. But like I said, I take this off, plug my shit in, put it back on, turn my radio on, and we're good to go. And then when I'm done, I got to undo this. Yeah, it's not convenient. It's kind of a little bit of hassle, but compared to having your shit run away, hell no. And when I know that I'm plugging my life, if you've got a Mugen, ProTech 1600, those are the batteries that I use. And the same thing, my Techno, you have the little cover that the receiver, where the receiver is, undo. I go through that every time. And yeah, I don't look at it as a hassle, but I guess you could, have to take the cover off, plug it in, and then put the cover back on. But you know what? I've never had issues since then. Never. Never, never, never. Now, if your servo goes out, your throttle servo, remember, the reason these things lock up is because when it loses signal, it's one thing. But when it loses and it's telling it doesn't have a battery connection, there's nothing you can do. Excuse my language, you're fucked. Even if you have a rubber band, whatever, it doesn't matter. These things on nitros, for whatever reason, I don't know the reason, the scientific term or terminology, but for whatever reason, when the batteries or when the power goes out from the battery to the receiver, these throttle servos lock wide open. They do make fail-safe switches, like automatic shut-off switches, but they're not compact. They're bulky, and you got to find a place to mount them. And I just, like I said, 0 chance of failure. Battery straight into the receiver. Never had a problem with life batteries. 1600 milliamp or 1800 milliamp is plenty of the ProTech ones, and Reedy makes them. And that's what I use, and I'll never change that. Okay? Now, as far as that we're talking on the subject of servos, I am going ProTechs. They have an entry-level ProTech. It's about $60 a piece. I'm going to try those first. And people are like, why don't you, because I'm not the guy that's going to, I have a hard time spending that, you know, close to $100 on a servo because I'm not racing. But granted that I have had the issues that I had, again, you know, saddle boxes taking a shit, even though for the most part they're good on their warranties, it's just a pain in the ass to do that. JXs are still suspect. I've had a couple of those go out. So the only servo that I haven't tried yet, quality-wise, is ProTech. Now, I'm not just going to go out and drop $200 on 2 ProTech servos. I'm going to try their entry, their you know, the cheapest one you can get. It's got a 9-second speed, which is quick, 0.009, and I believe it's the torque is, you know, around 20 kilograms, which is pretty decent, So I'm going to try those. So I'm going to spend $100 on servos. And they're going to be for the Techno. So the Techno is going to sit. Even though I only need to put one good servo, one decent servo in here to run it, I'm going to pull the bad saddle box obviously out. I got to send that in. And I'm going to, matter of fact, I already did. The one that's in the steering, I'm going to pull that one out too. Although I might leave it in and put one ProTech in here, the quick one. I mean, because those are quick. I don't know exactly what Adam Drake runs, but they're the high-end ones are $140 a piece. I am not going to spend $300 on 2 servos, and I'm not racing. I don't think I need to. If ProTech servos are what they are and what they say they are, they're even their entry-level ones, which I have heard no bad things about ProTechs in general, should be fine. I'm not sure the one Roger uses, but just so you guys know, I'll keep you updated. That, you know, I've got other stuff in the works. This vehicle, I don't know if I'm going to run it. Probably not for the next week or two. That's okay. I have done finally. Since I have it down, I've sent in. I told you guys, Techno. You can send in any warm Techno parts. You got to go through the channels to do it. You get go online. You print out the paperwork. I think I showed you guys. If I have an extra copy of it somewhere over here, oh, here it is. You get this printed out. This is your Techno warranty thing. And you just fill out this shit. You pay the shipping, obviously. It's like I sent in 2 front, because I have extra shit, as you guys know, the Techno. I sent in 2 of these, 2 front arms, 2 rear arms, and a couple other things. It was like $6 to ship it. It wasn't too bad. What they do is, as soon as they receive it, they'll send you an email of a voucher of 50% off of these, whatever it is that you turned into them. So before I run this thing again, I'm gonna put brand new front and rear A-arms on it, and a couple of other things that I've worn. I put these skid plates on. These skid plates are badass. If you go watch 1/5's video, he has these on his Mugen, which I have them on my Mugen as well. They make them for pretty much all vehicles. But I mean, look at the craftsmanship, man. These are sick. There's no DE Racing scrub skid plates, man. These are like next level right here. CNC machine 7075 aluminum. These things ain't wearing out anytime soon. Like I said, the DEs are great. They're DE ones are scrub ones, and I don't mean that in a bad way. They're like for a beginner, newbie. I mean, they are okay. They just wear, and because they're plastic. These are aluminum, and these aren't that much more expensive. Maybe $5 more, and they look a lot sicker too. Is that a word? Sicker? See if I can balance. Oh shit! Got the Techno. Now, when I put the modded 28.8 in this thing, that's what usually happens. It likes to do that. Stand up. Because that shit's got so much torque. And we're going to see if we can get the Mugen standing up too when we run it. But anyway, yeah, I put them on. So I'm going to redo I got another roll of this carbon fiber body wrap. I'm going to, it gets worn. It's okay. I mean, like I said, for $15 or whatever, for 6 feet by 4 feet wide of this shit, whatever. I'm going to put another wrap on this. Peels off really easy. Doesn't leave that stickiness, which I like. And when you put this shit on, if you guys ever think about getting it, use a heat gun. It sticks a lot better, and easier to set on there. So anyway, yeah, I've got these front and rear skid plates. So I think they look badass. So anyway, the Techno's gonna get some new front arms. We're gonna do some cosmetic, you know, replacement, you know, because these things are worn. Like I said, if you look, see that? I don't like that. You want a little bit of play in your A-arms, but not like that. That's too much. That's when you'll start bending shit, drivetrains and shit like that. So I don't think my drivetrains are bent, are they? Let's see the front one. No, we're pretty straight still. Okay, so anyway, that's what's going on with the servo thing, because people want to know, you know, I know guys have been having servo trouble, you know. I'm waiting for a response from Savox. I'm kind of not really happy with them right now. Usually their customer service is excellent. This is the first time they're giving me kind of a hang-up right now. I've contacted them 3 times, nothing. They sent me the form. They want to tell me now I got to pay to have it shipping. I have never paid for any Savox servos under their warranty, which it's their fault they failed. Am I right or wrong? Well, obviously I'm right. They send you email. You print out the label so you can put it on their servos and send it. Now they're saying some bullshit. I got to pay shipping. Excuse my language. Fuck all that. If that's the case and they're going to give me a hassle, fuck Savox and fuck. I'm done with Savox then. Period. I'm already done with them anyway. You know. Those of you that never had issues, and you know what, I'm getting this. A lot of people that have never had issues with Savox, for the most part, from what I hear, and I could be wrong, I guarantee these are the guys, or you're the guys that have those servos, and you've had them for a long time. Because, once again, like I told you in my last video, all the older RC shit, whether it's servos, radios, whether it's, you know, whatever, tools even, a few years ago, yes, the quality was a lot better. The quality, unfortunately, in RC, in every aspect of it, whether it's servos, tools, you know, even motors, the quality has declined. Quality, unfortunately, in RC, whether it's, you know, 5th scale, 8th, hasn't increased. It hasn't went up. It's went in a corporate sense, which means the big companies, the Savoxes, the high-techs, you know, the hobby codes, the dynamites, you know, the low-C stuff, you know, all that stuff that's owned by huge corporates has declined because, you know, RC continues to struggle, okay, you know, so companies know that, and when it's tight, they pinch pennies on quality, workmanship, and like I said, we're the ones that suffer for that. So anyway, so shout out to 5th Scale RC once again. Go watch his video, man. That's my Nitro brother. Another one, shout out, welcome back. This guy had phone issues and he had to get a new phone and reboot and all that. I was wondering what happened to him. His name's Nick Conan. He doesn't have his channel fully set up, but when he does, I'll let you guys know and he'll let me know. And, you know, I'm going to try to encourage this guy to make some videos. He's another guy like me, like 1/5. We're the computer illiterate guys. If it wasn't for my college student daughters, technologically wise, I would be like lost because I'm not good at it at all. You know, I'm not bad. Obviously, I have to be somewhat decent in order for me, you know, I mean, because that's how I do my shopping. I got that laptop over there, you know, and then I have my my other laptop over here. These are my, what I call my central command centers, either here or over there, whether I'm watching some tutorial videos or watching my Nitro brothers do their videos, or I'm over here, you know, online, you know, ordering more shit. By the way, we got goodies. Probably won't be here until Friday. So what's today? Today's Thursday, so hopefully by tomorrow or sometime this weekend we'll do some unboxings of some real serious goodies. Okay, I mean, I'm talking serious goodies, people. And when I do my unboxing, I'm going to show you, you know, what I'm doing with them, why I got them, you know, kind of the who, what, where, why type thing as far as unboxing goes. I mean, that's how I like to do it anyway. I don't even do a lot of unboxing. You guys know that. So, anyway, what else is going on? The paint thing, okay? I'm going to be doing a body probably starting it, hopefully this week. I'm just so busy right now with everything, with work. I mean, I barely get any time because I'm working so much. If you guys want me to paint a body for you, like Audrey Perez wants me to do one of his bodies, I feel flattered that people ask me to do bodies for him. He's not the only one. I have a couple other guys. I got like 3 or 4 guys that want me to do bodies for them, and have asked me in the past. I barely have enough time to do mine, but I will do it for you. It will cost you. I'm not going to do it for free. I mean, I'm not Daddy Warbucks, like I said. You know, I can't. You know, I'm giving my time as it is, and that's valuable to me. But one of the things, if you guys want, you got to send me, you know, what you want done. Give me an idea, the color of paints. I'll recommend certain things. Another thing you might want to do is invest in this. Look for it. There's the part number. Z001 picture glue. XXXMAIN main. Okay? Picture glue. This is the stuff you need. I've only got enough of this stuff. I'm going to have to get me some more. I only got enough of this stuff to do maybe 2 more bodies. Because this is the stuff that you got to put on the pictures to get them stuck on. Now, if you don't want to do the picture and you just want a regular paint job, I can do that too. You know, and some people, you know, not to get too much into it, some people actually really don't give a shit what their vehicles look like. And that's funny, because if you're going to spend the money and spend the time, wouldn't you want your vehicle to look sick like this? Look at this Techno. Everything on it. I mean, as far as the body, I'm not a great painter. I think I did a pretty damn good job. I mean, if you look real close, you can see the flaws. But, I mean, this is probably one of my best paint schemes that I've done. Okay? This one is no slouch either. I think I did a pretty good job on this. I didn't go too crazy on it. But I think it turned out okay. You know, my Joker, I call it the Joker because it's got all the Joker on it. This one came out pretty decent too. I think one thing that really makes these things, and some people do, some people don't, I learned how to get good at doing. I'm not the best, but I learned how to get good at the window trim. You can do it in a fluorescent, yellow, red. I haven't done it in any other color. Maybe I could do it in a white. I like the fluorescent, and I just like fluorescents. I mean, obviously, I can run fluorescent rims. I mean, you guys know, I like my shit to match. I think your shit should not only perform and run well, okay, I think it should look sick too. Now, some of you, like I said, really don't care. I do. Image isn't everything. Image is the only thing. That's my motto. So anyway, Audrey, mi amigo, if you want that body done, he wants Scarface, which I've never done that. You have to find the pictures. The pictures are one of the most important things. You can get them out of magazines, which I use my comic ones. One of the things that you do is you get magazines, and like this, for instance, and you want to get the better quality. These are some of the other pictures. See how these are all, I cut these out. There's Ivy. I was going to do her. She's pretty hot. There's Captain America. But I think the main thing that you have to learn to do is to trim. You have to have the most sharpest scissors or X-Acto and really trim around the picture, because you don't want any excess other than the picture, because it looks kind of, that's what I messed up on this one, on the God of War. See how the white backing, I should have cut all around Kratos. This is the only thing that I regret doing. But other than that, this body came out pretty sick. I mean, I could do better. I'm thinking of doing another God of War. Although I will let you guys know that this Mugen MBX body that I'm going to do soon, and I'm also getting another one of these Proline Phantom bodies for my buggy. That will be my that'll be my 4th one. That one is okay. The Techno's good for now. I'm going to get another one of those. Proline makes a different type body. I think it's the Hawk or Enforcer that goes for the Technos. I'm going to try it because I already have the J Concepts, which I love. Either I might get another one of those, or I might try a Proline one for the Techno. But as far as on this body right here, this Mugen body, this next one, I want to do a Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Whether I'm going to do a Stormtrooper or I'm going to do a Darth Vader, maybe, because, like, you know, I'd like to do a Darth Vader Stormtrooper type picture thing. So anyway, like I said, these are the pictures, and we'll go over that. That's going to be a whole 8 hour, I mean a whole, you know, hour video of me showing you guys how I do that. So I'm already on 34 minutes. What else? Shout out, you know, to my other brothers. Like I said, Nick Conan. We talk offline. That guy's a full-on race guy, man. This guy's been racing for well over 10 years. Okay, he's like a Raja, but he's been doing it a lot longer than Raja. And this guy's running Kyosho's. You know, he's a Kyosho guy. He's got a few of them. So because I'm thinking of getting an MP9 or whatever, a Kyosho buggy, he's kind of coaching me on it. He's got the World Limited Edition Kyosho. Those things are $800 as a roller. I want one of those, but I don't got the 800 laying around, a coin to drop on that. So, and he's got an MP9 TKI4. So, you know, and he races. So he's kind of, you know, sending me pictures, coaching me kind of. I'm looking to him because he is a race guy, and if anybody knows about Kyoshos, he does. And he's a full-on gearhead, just like me, just like 1/5. You know, we're old school guys too. You know, shout out also to Elite. You know, he's my longtime brother from another mother, man. Me and Elite, you know, he's my boy, man. Shout out also to another guy that I haven't heard from in a while, my other brother from another mother, Just Joe. Shout out to Mr. Connor Wickapee. You know, I haven't heard from him. I know he's busy. That guy's a workaholic because he likes to spend money on motors. He's a motorhead. So I'm anxious to see what he's got in the works. I know he's working on that Pico boost. Which, by the way, to share with you guys, I won't show you it, but I can't. I watched this video already. So anyway, again, shout out to 1/5, man. That guy is doing a killer job. Go watch it, man. That guy's got sick. He's got the sickest 4.0 low-C buggy I've ever seen. Even sicker than Mr. Zaz. He's got shit on there that Mr. Zaz doesn't even have. I mean, the setup. It's one of the reasons he won the contest. That and that MBX8, which I'm thinking I might get an MBX8 because they are. A lot of it has changed from the 7 that I have. And I love Mugens, man. I love my Mugens. So we'll see. First things first, I need to get another buggy because this buggy here needs a break. She is taking the load, definitely, all the time, because she's the only buggy little squirrel I got, and I love ripping that thing, especially with these bigger motors. And we're going to run some more big motors through there. But I'm thinking the next in that buggy, I need to get this thing rocking again. I haven't broke this out in a while. After the 0.28 Pico that we're going to rip in the Mugen shortly here. As soon as we get the buggy back together, or who knows, I might put this in the Techno. It's been in there before. Oh, another thing too, we're gonna do a comparison, people. It's gonna be the Triton 2148 versus the 9886 and the 41032. What I'm going to do is something that I've never done. When I take this, the Mugen MBX7 RT, my Mugen race truggy here, when I take this out next time, sometime this week, I'm going to take with me the Triton pipe. And what we're going to do, we're going to rip this thing around for a while, okay? See how she, you know, get her nice and dialed in, and run her for a minute, and then shut her down, pull the 9886 and the 4132 header off, pop on the Triton pipe, and I want to see the difference in the field, in action. How, you know, I know Lance said that the Triton's got more power, bottom end and mid than the 9886, but like I said, I need to see it for myself, and I'm sure you guys are interested too. So we're going to do a little Triton versus Novarosi. How's that, people? Okay, so back to this. I found, finally, even though it's not the brand new one, which I really don't care, I found a Pico. I'm not even going to show it to you, because I'm not showing a lot of stuff anymore, because guys like to just copy me and snatch shit up, and I don't trust nobody. Sorry, people. But anyway, I found, so it's a little bit, like $20 more than they normally are, a Pico, just like the one I have, but the older version, P3.28, brand spanking new. So I think I'm going to pull the trigger on it, although I've got money tied into other things, and I need to get as soon as I get the Novorossi 28.8 Rex Legend here in the next couple days, I've got to box that, the LRP .32, and the OS XR Max .21. I got to box those 3 up, and I got to ship those to Lance, and that's going to run me, a few $100 too. So that's my next big investment, is getting these 3 motors sent off to Lance so I can get them turned around and get back to me, and then we're going to start breaking some next level modified motors in, people. And I'm excited. I don't know about you. So anyway, we're on 40 minutes. Let me take a little bit of time. I think you guys can see me. We got the reds over here. We're deciding. I also want to try. I'm gonna tell you, that Triton is going to be everybody's bitch, or it's going to make all my motors its bitch. Either way, because I want to try that Triton pipe on all my motors. Because Lance designed that motor, which is what I also like about it. Because the 41032 and the 986, that combo doesn't work on every motor. It works best on modded. That's just how it is. The Triton pipe, another reason I like that pipe, because Lance designed it to enhance any motor. Stock, modified, .21, .32, .28, everything. That's the main reason. You can't take the 9886 to 41032 and put it on all these different motors and it's going to work the same. Or it's going to, you're going to see the difference. Some it will, some it won't. I've done it. The 41030, the Triton pipe 2148, I want to see if it enhances different motors. If it gives every motor I put it on more bottom and mid snap, I'm all on it like a hobo on a hot dog, trust me. So, which means, like I said, I want to run it on the Pico, see what it does. Pico. Yeah, the Pico .28 in the Megan MBX7 Truggy. I want to run it on this semi-stock Reds .21, the R5R Racer, and I want to run it on the modified. Probably I want to run it more on this bad boy than anything, because this is a badass point. If you want a real deal Holyfield, no, rookie shit. You want the real deal next level .21, get a Reds. Trust me, you won't even mess with anything else. I got an OS modded coming when I get it done. I know it's going to be badass, but this is where it's at. You want an Italian badass .21 stock or modded, get one of these. These things tune like a freaking watch. I love them. Once you get them tuned, they're money for life. For life. Love these motors. I might get another one. I love Reds, man. I'm sold. At first I wasn't. And again, I still wouldn't pay $300 or $400 for these. The only reason I got them is because I got killer deals on them. And there's more deals out there, man. You people just got to look. So I'm looking for another Reds. I like the R5s. I might get another one of these or one of these. I just love these black-headed, R5. I've never had problems with them. I've heard guys have issues on all the other Reds with certain things. One thing I hear a lot is the bearings. I haven't had any problem. This has got 2 gallons or more through it and the same bearings. No problem. But I think these are ceramic that are on here anyway. This one anyway. So anyway, but I got another badass .21 coming too. Don't forget, people. I got a Novorossi. You guys will see what it is. I'm not going to tell you. I got a Novorossi .21 coming. Highly recommended by some of my mentors. Sick .21, and that bitch is getting modified too. So I don't know. A modified .21 Novorossi against a Reds modified and an OS. Oh, might be a little competition. Battle of the .21s. Matter of fact, one of my brothers, I think he wanted to see that. We're going to do that as soon as they're all modded. 3 badass different makes of .21s. We're going to see who's the baddest. And by that time I should have my, more than likely I'll have my, we'll put them all through the KO show if that's what I get. Or a Techno. Sure, not sure what I'm going to get. I might get a Techno, I might get a KO show. I don't know. I know it's those 2. I'm getting one of those 2. Which one? I don't know yet. whatever one I like the most, and I find the best deal, and it comes with the most goodies. So anyway, let's do a quick little wrenching. Okay, we've got we'll do about maybe 10 minutes. It's gonna be another hour video. I think you guys can see me, can't you? Okay, well, this is the muggy wrenching. Now, diffs are, we're talking next level diffs. Now, when I do my diffs, I learn from Ryan Lutz. One of the biggest things I learned from him is the way he gets the diff fluid out. Because if you guys have ever changed diff, we're not talking, you know, 20K, 30K, you know, we're talking 50, 60 to 125K. When you're trying to get 100K diff fluid out of your diff cups, that shit's not easy. What I do, when you open it up and all the dirty diff fluid is in there, let's say 100K, I take whatever shock oil you have, prefer, you know, it doesn't matter, this is like 50 weight, and I put it in here. You know how when you turn it, the gears want to pop up? Put your finger in it, you're going to get dirty. Put your finger in it and twist it and twist it and twist it, work it in. Take these caps from aerosol, you know, your spray cans. This fits on here perfectly. See that? Can you guys see that? I let it drain. It takes a while. Then, sometimes the diff gears fall out, but a lot of times because it sits so thick it doesn't. Then I hold it and I keep doing that until I get all of that dirty diff fluid out of there and worked out of there, and then I just keep, and eventually you're going to get all the dirty diff fluid out of there, and you're going to have just shock fluid in there, which is not a big deal. Then you're going to want to wipe that out really good. Okay, so that is the easiest way to get the diff fluid out. I use toothbrushes because when you want to get these splines clean, you know, put whatever kind of cleaner you want on here, whatever dissolves grease, brush it out. Okay, so that's what I learned from Ryan Lutz. I seen him do that because I'm like, how in the hell are you supposed to get all this shit out? That's a mess, and it's frustrating. He puts shock fluid, like 50, whatever weight, shock oil, 20, 30, whatever you got, and he works it into the old diff fluid, and it basically thins it out so it comes out easier. So that's one thing that I do. Now, when you're putting these diffs back together, this is what I learned from Adam Drake. Okay, what you want to do is see inside of there where the little O-ring goes. Grease your O-rings. Okay, I use this Team Associated. It's called Green Slime. It's for like shock O-rings and any kind of O-rings, and it greases them up, and you know, because these things will get hard, and when they get hard, they don't work the way they're supposed to, and your fluid will seep out. So what I do is I put the green slime in here, grease in here, where the outer drive is going to go through. I put green slime on the O-ring. See me? I'll put it in. Drop that baby in there. Okay, put it in there. I also, if you look on the drives, they usually have a groove. That groove is for grease. Again, I fill that up with the green slime or whatever grease you're going to use. Before you slide it in, so many times I made the mistake, put the bearing on first. I put them together and then I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to put the bearing on. I make sure I clean my bearings, obviously, really thorough. Pop that on. Slide it. Now, usually when you slide it through, that O-ring wants to pop up. So you're going to have to hold your finger in there. And if that doesn't work, what I do, also put a little bit of slime or grease on these, the little washers that go in here. So I drop that washer in there. Bam, like so. Get that in there. Now I hold it in, so that way when you're pushing the drive cup in, it'll keep that washer down. And you sorry people. And you definitely want to use a needle nose pliers. Come in handy. So what I do, I push this down, push it up through there. So now you can see that washer is in. Now the next thing that you're going to want to do is, and this sometimes can get frustrating, this is probably the hardest part, well, for some people, is to get this little ass pin in here. You know, the pin that holds the gear in. So what you want to do is you want to line it up. I put the holes facing, see these grooves on the side of the cups, how they have grooves? You're going to want to put it that way because that's where you're going to have the most room. So what I'll do, you guys can see that. I go where the groove is. That way I can slide the pin straight across. And I put it down in there, so you can see. And then I just kind of work it in, slide it over. And I try to center that pin. Now you guys can see that? So I have the pin centered in there. Remember, whatever the way the pin is, you want to line it up to these grooves on the side. That way the pin has room to slide it in. And then all you do, and you also want to put a little bit of grease on your inside, your gears, the inside part there. Before you put it on, put a little bit of grease on there, which I already did. Just kind of drop it in there, level, and then hold your finger on it, and then kind of turn this, boom, it'll lock in. So now it's in there. So now you can see that. So we're in. We're in like Flint, people. So now, then, obviously, you're going to want to take these. Now on Mugen, this is a Mugen diff, remember. This is the center diff to my MBX5. These Mugen diffs, they have these washers, shims, on the outsides of these gears. Okay, on the diff gears. All diffs are different, but basically they're the general. So you obviously put the first one in with that notch sticking up. So I'm going to lay this down across here. Oops. Okay. Just like that. See how that groove's facing up, that little slot? And then you take the other one and you face it down. Face it. Yeah, obviously you're going to cross it. And you're going to take this notch part and face it down on it. And, oops, wrong way. Turn that baby. This can get a little tedious too because you got to be patient. This is where the patience I talked to you guys about that you need. And Nitro comes in doing shit like this. Okay, so now you can see that. They're in there. That pin is locked into that other pin. Okay, now next thing you're going to do, obviously, check your I was leaking a little bit of diff fluid. You need to replace these periodically. If you have these gaskets in your diffs, replace them every time you open that shit up. Just replace them. They're cheap. You get a whole bag of them. I've got tons of them. Okay, now again, like I said, I put grease inside of that little slot where the O-ring's going to go. Plus I put grease on the O-ring. Now I'm going to lay the O-ring in there. I'm going to take the other top washer, set it on top, so it'll keep that O-ring from popping out when I slide this in. I'm going to put the bearing on. Okay. Push this in. Hold the washer. Okay. Now, obviously, take my pair of needle nose, slide in here, slide that in, center it. Again, got my grease on there, flip it over. Whoop. Drop it on the floor. There we go. So now that's on. Okay, see that? Now what we want to do, make sure the gasket holes are lined up with the holes where the set screws are going to go. Now what I learned from Adam Drake is he puts his diffs together without fluid in it. Why? Because you want to make sure you check your mesh and make sure that your mesh is good. Okay? Now the newer ones, they snap in. With the older ones, you're going to have to put the screws in. Okay? which I'm going to do right now. Where's my driver? Whoa. Okay. Now, what you want to do... Oh, shit. .5. By the way, these speed bits from Associated, I love these things, man. Haven't had any issues with them. They give you ball-in ones, plus they give you the regular ones. I always, when I'm screwing these in with the cordless, I don't go in all the way because I want to hand tighten them. When I just get close enough. Oh, dang it! I just dropped my shit, people. Anyway, like I said, you just want to get them close enough, and then hand tighten them. Okay. That way you don't, strip anything out. It's the last thing you want to do in any of this is strip anything out. So now, once you put these together, the reason Adam Drake puts them together, from what I watched on his video, is to check the mesh, to make sure the mesh is good. And then once you check your mesh, then you put the fluid in. Okay, I suggest, personally, because especially when you're dealing with 100 to 120K, heat it up. Heat your fluid up, put it in the microwave. Around 2 minutes, I think, is what I did on mine. And that was fine. That way the fluid moves a lot better, because this shit is thick. Now I'm using Losi 125K, which is hard to find. Associated makes, I think they do 125K. I wasn't able to find it. I only found the Losi. With the Losi, they don't give you as much fluid. Okay, so you just snug them down a little bit. You don't need to tighten them really tight yet. And remember, you're screwing into plastic on your diff cups, so don't be cranking on these things, man. You strip them out, you're fucked. I mean, because your fluid's not going to seal right. So anyway, once you get them together, then you just want to move it around. Make sure your shit is nice and smooth. And it feels... And you want to pull them out, your diffs out, and you want to push them in. Push them together, turn it, pull it out, turn it. You don't want any binding at all. I mean, these things are smooth like money, people. So now, after you get done doing that, obviously you take them back apart. You know, the common question I hear, people ask, and you hear all the time on any of these tutorial videos about diffs is, how much diff fluid do you put in? It's okay to put a little bit more than, when you go to put them together, that shit should ooze out, and it's okay. Because you don't want to have not enough. Now, like I said, I'm using the Losi 125K. Okay. I take this here. If you want a part number, I don't know if the part number's on here. TLR 5288. Okay. Who says I don't like Losi shit? I don't care for Losi because of Horizon, but they make good fluids. So, if you can see, this is 125K. This shit's like peanut butter almost. I put it in the microwave, heat it up, fill my diffs up, turn them very slowly because, as you know, the gears want to pop up. Turn it, turn it, turn it. You're going to get bubbles that'll form. I use these caps, set it in here like this, and sometimes I'll let my shit set overnight. I'll let it set till I get home from work. Because I don't want even one tiny microscopic bubble. You don't want any air in these things at all. You want to be able to, once it's settled down, you want to be able to look in there and you can't even barely tell there's fluid in there. You know what I'm saying? Like glass. Okay, because if you get air in those things, then in your discs, you're screwed, man. There's going to leak all over the place and your shit's going to be, a mess. So anyway, that's what I learned on how Ryan Lutz does it and Adam Drake. keep in mind, when you're pulling your center diff apart, you might as well make sure you clean it very well. What I like to do is I like to take a fine sandpaper like this, and I take my discs and I scuff them up, just like real discs on a real car or anything that has disc brakes. And what that does is it takes any glazing that might be on it, so your brakes are gonna bite a lot better. I do it every time I take my shit apart. I always scuff up my discs, always. Anyway, that's my tedious, boring, I hope you guys didn't fall asleep shit. So that's how I do my diffs. 125K, we're going to run it in the Mugen buggy. I was thinking of going 60K or 65 in the front, I'm not sure yet. And the same way I do these is the same way you do all your diffs. Just I think the biggest thing is getting the fluid out, which is a pain in the ass. Cleaning them out, your old diff fluid, and I told you guys how to do that. Just dilute it with shock oil. I learned that from Ryan Letts. Go watch a video. I think it was when he was with Durango. He has them. He shows that video. And I learned from Adam Drake putting your diff together without the fluid and just checking it and making sure there's no binding. It's nice and smooth and buttery and just flawless. And if there is, depending on what diff you have, that's when the shimming comes in. That's when you'll shim it to where it's not, you know, it's smooth. Kind of, you know, getting it tuned in. So anyway, where are we at? We're probably at an hour. Wow, we're over an hour. Holy shit. Alright, so that's all the Muggy's got. Contest is standing. People, get your videos up. We're giving away a modified, or gonna be modified, sick-ass, classic, nostalgic, one-of-a-kind. If you guys, or any of you guys out there are real hyper, like enthusiasts, or you love your hypers, you want this motor. That is one of the signature motors that originally came in the first run of the Hyper 7s. It's an OFNA Hyper .21. 5-port, badass, nasty little motor. And by the time the Muggy gets done with it, I might even ramp the crank too. That motor is at least over $200. If you go try to find one of those, that's a $200 motor I'm giving away. Because I want to give back. Because I won't ever forget that I was once a newbie, that I was once a scrub, that I was once a rookie. Okay? And because I'll never forget that, and where I came from when I started this about 5 years ago now, I want to give back to the next guy, to the newbie that's maybe doesn't have the money and can't afford a decent, you know, even if it is a pea shooter, that's going to be a badass motor when I get done with it, guaranteed. I might even fire it up before I box it off, just so you guys can hear it. Matter of fact, once I get it, because I want to make sure that it's, you know, it's good to go. I don't want to mod something and do some work to it and send it to somebody and something doesn't go right. So that's what we're going to do. It's probably going to be a month from now, but we're going to mod that thing. We're going to get that thing like badass, and I'm going to put it in one of my buggies, and we're going to rip that bitch, and you're going to see that badass motor, and you're going to be all, holy shit, the Muggy's giving away that little sick thing? Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so get excited, people. This contest will be going on. We're going to probably, I mean, it's already kind of started, but this contest is going to go on for the next month or so. I might have to extend it. This is going to be the longest running contest because I have to do some work to that motor, and I'll give a chance for everybody to get their videos. You know, if you want a $200 motor, okay, badass Hyper 21 motor, okay, one of a kind. They don't make them no more. Okay, I have 2 of them. It's the only other reason I'm giving it away, because I have another one that I can build later. I'm not worried about it. But you're going to have a badass motor. Sealed. This motor didn't come sealed. These motors came with freaking stupid pull start. Turbo starts, they called them. They had a little turbo fan inside of some bullshit. Anyway, that one's sealed. Okay, we're going to do some sick work to it. We're going to get it nice and freaking nasty. Who knows? By that time, I might even throw a damn pipe in with it too. But anyway, get your caves ready. Get your shit straight. Get your OCD on. And the Muggy's got some goodies for you. And we've got some goodies to unbox. So stay tuned. Catch you guys in a few days. Everybody have a great day today. Have a great week. Remember, when you're not running your shit, set your piston bottom dead center. And, okay, also, don't forget, okay, do what makes you happy. Do what works for you. Okay? Don't go by what I say. Don't go by what I do. This is just what works for me. Do you. Do it to the best of your ability. And at the end of the day, no matter what happens, if you learn something, you got ahead that day. Just remember that. Okay? That's all I got, people. Peace. I'm out.